For those of you just joining, we are at the Long Island Railroad Westhampton station. Not quite 75 miles due east of Midtown Manhattan, New York City, Penn Station, awaiting the arrival of the Friday evening summer express train 2798, the Cannonball. Cannonball operates from, let's hear this.
The 5:41 p.m. train to Montauk is expected to arrive on track 1, platform A, in approximately
6 minutes. All right. So that's the cookbook announcements they make. And let me tell you from experience that there's a lag time in by the time the information gets dispatched. So he's probably less than 6 minutes away, which means he's already most likely cleared Spionk to the west of us. And that's about a 7-minute train run from Spionk Station to Westhampton Station. So we'll see. Anyway, Cannonball, I was explaining, runs on Friday evenings from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend. They are also going to run it on Tuesday, July 3rd, this coming Tuesday. But I think most people will be out here on tonight and tomorrow's trains. I don't think there'll be that many coming out on Tuesday night for 4th of July. But you never know. So with the 12 Kawasaki C3 Bilevel cars, the first 3 are what they refer to as the Hamptons Reserve service. Reserved seats in the first 3 cars, which you pay a premium for those above the regular peak one-way fare. So if the one-way fare from Penn to Westhampton on peak times is, say, $29, now add on top of that another $24 to $25 for a reserve seat. And those are approximations, folks. I don't know the precise figures this year for the Cannonball Hamptons Reserve service. But it gives you a ballpark figure of what it costs to come out on a Friday night.
Well, I also think,
Excuse me. And obviously, if you have a reserve seat cars, 3 of them, there's no standing allowed in those cars. And so the last 9 passenger cars, there's quite a bit of passengers standing in the vestibules. So those cars get very crowded. I have a good story for you. I won't mention any names because that wouldn't be fair to the personnel involved. Let's hear this.
The 5:41 p.m. train to Montauk is expected to arrive on track 1, platform A, in approximately 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. Means it's going to round the bend up there at Old Country Road crossing. All right, to my quick story. I was here last Friday night to do a live broadcast of the Cannonball. And I didn't know it at the time, but after the fact, I learned that the engineer that night was a former first grader of my wife who taught first grade for many, many years in Centum Riches School District. And he contacted her because they're Facebook friends about Mr. Ryan taking his picture. He didn't know I was doing a video, but I thought that was really cool, right? Here's a former first grader of my wife, and he's now operating Long Island Railroad diesel equipment. And he said last week this was not his regular run, but I guess he had to press into service. Here comes the train. All right, it just crossed Old Country Road. We'll stay in the full panorama view here. I'm not going to fool around with the zooming in and out. Sometimes in my iPhone, and it's probably operator error, I zoom in and then I can't zoom back out. So let's stay with what we have. Long Island Railroad train 2798, non-stop express from Penn Station to Westhampton, the Cannonball. And there's deer on the track. There's a doe and a fawn. They're just getting out of the... No, wait a minute. Yeah, there they go. They're heading off to the right, to the north, into the woods. A doe and two fawns just crossed in front of the engine. Here we go. Okay, 5:04 tonight. That little toot of the horn was for us, folks, for all of you people watching. And there's always a chance later on I'll find out that was my wife's first grade student driving the train again. So we'll see later on tonight when I get home. Okay, and here, how you doing tonight? All right, first 8 cars are platforming here at Westhampton. Doors are opening. People are getting off. As you can see, it's standing room only in the vestibules. Ho ho, ho ho. Standing room only in the rear 9 cars. People will try to get bags out of the way so people can get off. Oh boy! Hi.
Matt.
Here's my main man, the conductor. And it's really wild because you know, the railroad makes its announcements. No baggage in the aisles. The bags have to fit under the seats or in the overhead racks. But when you're coming out for a holiday week, obviously you're carrying a lot of bags. All right, I would say a large crowd here tonight at Westhampton. Exiting the train here at Westhampton. But still, there's going to be a struggle for seats. Doors are closed. Doors are open. Means they don't have clearance. All right, the crew will now execute a double stop, move the train forward, and they'll platform the rear 4 C3 cars. Oh my goodness, there were passengers crowded into the conductor's cab of that car number 8. From what I can see through the windows here, there's no seating available. Car, and here comes the rear DM30. My maintenance friends, 512. That's the MOE people, the maintenance of equipment people who ride with the train to make sure there's no problems, or if there are problems, to solve them right away. They don't want any holdups with this train. Not with all of these people on it. There's the Cannonball logo. They have on the front the lead engine and the trail engine. You have the Long Island Railroad Cannonball logo. These guys are great. They're riding in case of emergencies. They are EMD DM30AC 512. This equipment was first put into service in the late 1990s, early 2000s. I guess right around, right around 1998. I know that's when we lost our station in Santa Mariches, because the railroad was too cheap to build a raised platform for us in Santa Mariches. They claimed there wasn't enough passenger load to warrant the cost. Editorializing the penny wise and pound foolish. Wow, look at this. Look at this tonight. I'll give you a better view of the parking lot in a little bit, but I want to keep my eye on the train as it departs. Hopefully they're not having any maintenance problems. Alright, he's running back here to the rear engine. Alright, all clear, he's telling them, all clear. So whatever it was, all clear. Keep them rolling. Next stop, Southampton, followed by Bridgehampton, Easthampton, and Montauk. Okay, there they go. Cannonball for June 29th, 2018 here at Westhampton. The start of the 4th of July week, holiday week, and let me show you this action here, folks. Okay, here's the parking lot of everybody trying to get out of here at Westhampton. I'm parked right across the lot here, and I'm not going anywhere for the next 5 to 10 minutes. No way that I can get out of here now, so we'll just watch the traffic flow. I love it. I love it. This is looking south down Depot Road here in Westhampton. It's about half a mile to 2/3 of a mile down to Montauk Highway. Maybe a little longer than that, in the village of Westhampton Beach. The road that goes immediately to the right over here is Station Road, and that'll also take you down to Montauk Highway. Alright, private vehicles, taxis, Ubers, Uber service, whatever. Beep, beep. Pretty interesting. All right, the next train due in is 2712, the Hunters Point Avenue to Montauk train. That's due here at approximately 6:30. That's a regular Monday to Friday train that runs, but on Friday night it'll be absolutely jammed. So I think there's like 5 more trains eastbound to Montauk this evening between now and let's say around number midnight. And then of course tomorrow morning, quite a few trains tomorrow morning and midday that will come from the city out to Montauk. Isn't this something, good people? I'm not going anywhere yet. As I say, my truck is over there, the Ford, the blue Ford, and there's no way in heck I can get out of this parking lot here right now. So let's just stay and watch the action here. And when it thins out, we'll shut down the broadcast and say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for joining tonight. Unofficially, I'm going to say this is definitely a bigger crowd than on Friday night of Memorial Day weekend. Definitely much bigger crowd than last Friday night, which I thought was a pretty big crowd. Now look at the traffic backed all the way up 3/4 of a mile from Montauk Highway. There's a traffic light down there, but that doesn't really help. When we leave, we'll make a right-hand turn right here at Station Road, and we'll go down to Montauk Highway that way. All right, good people. Thanks for joining me tonight for Cannonball at Westhampton Beach. Westhampton, excuse me. The station is not inside the official borders of the village of Westhampton Beach. It's right across the street from that. So it's Westhampton, not Westhampton Beach. And we'll be back on the air again one of these fine days. Oh, you're quite welcome. I'm glad you stayed with me for this. Thanks again, everybody, and have a very good evening and have a wonderful weekend and a 4th of July week coming up, because the weather here on Long Island is going to be absolutely summer perfect for the next 7 to 10 days. So take care, everybody.